Hi ladies and gentlemen, in this instructional video you'll be writing equations in slope-intercept form given a slope and an ordered pair. For this video you will need your math notebook to jot down some examples, your pencil, and your math textbook for some checkpoint questions you'll need to complete after the end of this instructional video. Just as a quick reminder, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. The two numbers that will fill in for m and b are the slope and the y-intercept. Alright, so here is our first example where we need to write an equation in slope-intercept form given the slope, in this case it's 5, and given the a point on the line, -3, 4. So m is my 5, and an ordered pair, -3, 4, is a point that's on the line. It's not the y-intercept because it's not on the y-axis. -3, 4 would be a point that would graph in a quadrant, not actually on an axis. So to begin this problem, I like to label each value I have. M is already labeled, so M is 5. -3 represents my x coordinate of my ordered pair, and 4 represents my y value. What I need to do now is I need to substitute these three numbers into slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to first start by communicating what formula I'm using, slope-intercept form, so I'm going to jot that down. Now I'm going to substitute my values in. 4 is y, m is 5, x is -3, and I don't know b, so I'm going to continue to use the variable b. I'm going to solve my equation by multiplying 5 times -3 to get -15. And to get b by itself, I'm going to add 15 to both sides. So I'll get 19 equals b. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is not my final answer because in the directions it said to write an equation in slope-intercept form. What I just jotted down, 19 equals b, is not in slope-intercept form. So it needs to look like y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to use my slope, which was given. I'm going to use my y-intercept, which I calculated. And I'm going to plug it into the equation y equals mx plus b. So my final answer is y equals 5, that's my slope, x plus 19. That's the y-intercept that I just calculated. So there's my final answer. All right, let's do one more example. So same thing, I'm giving you a slope, I'm giving you a point that's on the line, but it is not the y-intercept, and we're going to calculate the y-intercept and then write the equation in slope-intercept form. So again, I will start out by writing slope-intercept form. I'm going to label my x value, which is 6, my y value, which is -10, and I'm going to substitute -1/2 in for m, and 6 in for x, and -10 in for y. So y is -10, m is -1/2, x is 6, plus, I don't know what the y-intercept is, so I'm going to put plus b. I'm going to solve my equation by multiplying -1/2 times 6, which is -3, plus b. I'm going to add 3 to both sides, and I'll get -7 equals b. Okay, again, I know that this is not my final answer because in the directions it said write an equation in slope-intercept form. That's the y-intercept. So I need to plug my values into y equals mx plus b. Again, I was given the slope, so I'm going to put -1/2 in for x, and I just calculated my y-intercept. So I can put -7, or I can write the equation as y equals -1/2 x plus -7. Your preference. So one of these two equations is your final answer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's your turn. You need to turn your book, or open up your book, excuse me, to page 197. Complete questions 1 through 3 for your checkpoint questions. Now, I just want to add this. The book just asks you to calculate the y-intercept. For these checkpoint questions, you need to do one additional step. Write the equation of the line. So once you calculate the b, then go ahead and plug in the y-intercept and the slope into the equation y equals mx plus b. Check your work in with your math teacher. Good luck!